Thanks for joining us for CBN News Today. I'm Charlene Israel. Millions of Americans are spending billions shopping online this week without a glitch, while at the same time, the government is trying to revamp its Obamacare website and convince the public that the worst of its technical problems are over. Heather Sells has more on the president's damage control campaign.
For Americans this week, the contrast is striking. Businesses are setting records daily, shipping millions of Christmas gifts and taking in billions online. At the same time, a crippled government website threatens to wreak havoc with Americans' ability to get health insurance.
FedEx says we're going to ship 22 million packages, and they'll do it in 1 or 2 days. And the president is, crowing about the fact that when this website is up and running, they might be able to handle 800,000 accounts.
Many cannot help but take notice that while American businesses are demonstrating peak efficiencies online, the American government is demonstrating colossal incompetence via healthcare.gov. To combat the perception, the president has begun a PR push designed to highlight the benefits originally planned in the law.
Our poor execution in the first couple months on the website clouded the fact that there are a whole bunch of people who stand to benefit. Now that the website's working for the vast majority of people, we need to make sure that folks refocus on what's at stake here.
The president is hoping that more Americans will change their minds and sign up for government health insurance, but Republicans counter that it's too little, too late.
House Republicans are going to continue to listen to our constituents, listen to the American people, and try to focus on protecting them from a fundamentally flawed law.
One of the latest flaws to surface, a problem with enrollment data. Insurers say a lot of what they're receiving is useless. And that means some consumers may not be covered on January 1st, the day that coverage is scheduled to begin. It's another huge headache for the White House. So big, in fact, the administration is meeting daily with insurance reps just to discuss it. Heather Sells, CBN News.
The University of Notre Dame has filed a lawsuit over Obamacare's contraception mandate. The suit claims that requiring the university to offer birth control as part of its insurance plan violates the institution's freedom of religion. The Catholic University says the birth control mandate violates the church's teaching prohibiting contraception. The U.S. Supreme Court is currently considering 2 cases in which business owners have objected to covering birth control for employees on religious grounds. The American Civil Liberties Union is suing the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops over its abortion policies. In a lawsuit filed in federal court in Michigan, the ACLU accuses the bishops of negligence for refusing to mention abortion as an option in cases that put the mother's life at risk. The ACLU is suing because Mercy Health Muskegon Hospital didn't tell a mother experiencing premature labor she should consider aborting her baby. The bishops' rules do allow for treatments to cure pregnant women who are gravely ill, even if they result in the death of the child. Mary, Joseph, and the baby Jesus appeared before the U.S. Supreme Court this week, but it had nothing to do with a court case. It was all about celebrating the birth of the Savior and the religious liberty that allows the right on the front of the steps of the nation's highest court. Paul Strand explains from Capitol Hill.
Once again, Capitol Hill was treated to the sight of a camel, donkey, sheep, shepherds, and wise men wandering their way to the very seat of earthly power. Flanked by Congress on one side and the Supreme Court on the other, these humans and animals gathered to celebrate Christ's birth with a living nativity scene.
There's nothing more fun than a bunch of animals like a big old camel wandering through the streets of Capitol Hill. But this procession does have a serious purpose.
We are securing for ourselves a liberty which is enshrined in the Constitution, and that is a liberty of freedom of religion.
For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
The clergy sponsoring this nativity scene in Washington are encouraging Americans everywhere to get the permits they need locally to do similar scenes all across the country. And as they slowly made their way past lawmakers and judges, these living nativity participants were making a powerful point to these most powerful Americans.
By displaying the gospel at Christmas time, we're reminding all of our legislators and our jurists who are responsible for law and public policy that we are indeed a nation under a higher authority, the authority of God, to whom we all must make account.
Paul Strand, CBN News, Capitol Hill.
The uncle of President Obama is contradicting the president's claim that the two men never met. The Washington Post reports Onyango Omar Obama offered that testimony at his deportation hearing on Tuesday. He said President Obama stayed with him while attending Harvard Law School in the 80s. A landlord confirms the uncle's account, but during the run-up to the 2012 election, the White House denied the two men ever met. Onyango Obama had just been arrested for drunk driving in 2011, and it was revealed he spent 5 decades in the U.S. illegally. The White House has not commented on Omar Obama's claim. The congressman leading the investigation into the IRS targeting scandal says the FBI is blocking the inquiry. The Washington Times reports Republican Darrell Issa is threatening subpoenas to get information from the FBI director. Issa is investigating allegations that the FBI targeted the Tea Party and other conservative groups holding up their tax-exempt status before recent elections. It's been 6 months since the investigation began, and the FBI still has yet to release any information, but says it is still investigating. A winter storm is bringing bitterly cold temperatures to the western half of the country. An Arctic blast caused temperatures to plunge as much as 40 degrees below normal in some areas. And forecasters say the cold weather is expected to spread south in the next few days. We're barely into December, but a powerful winter storm has the western half of the country bundling up this morning.
It's January-like cold, only it's early December.
About 24 states have winter watches or advisories. Northern Minnesota has already been slammed by 2 feet of snow.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
I was like saying, yeah, school's out. It's wicked, actually. I've never seen it like this before.
Idaho has already seen 30 inches fall, and across the Midwest, the snow and ice are causing treacherous conditions on the highways, with hundreds of accidents from Minnesota to Utah. Areas of Montana and the Dakotas were forecast to reach lows in the -20s. In California, farmers are working to protect their crops as temperatures dip near freezing.
We're worried about anything getting close to 32 or below.
We've got our crews ready, our water, our wind machines.
In Denver, Colorado, Tuesday's high reached 56 degrees. Only 4 hours later, it had dipped to the mid-20s. Another cold front following closely behind this one is forecast to cause the Arctic cold to linger. The forecasted high for Minneapolis on Friday is only 5 degrees. Charlene Israel, CBN News. And the winter weather is expected to push south by Thursday. In Texas, temperatures are forecast to drop from the 80s into the 40s. A new sales record for Cyber Monday this year. E-commerce rose 18% from last year's Cyber Monday to $1.74 billion. That made Monday the top online spending day since ComScore began tracking the data back in 2001. Consumer electronics and video game consoles and accessories were among the biggest sellers of the day. Home and garden products, clothing and accessories, as well as sports and fitness products also performed well. And speaking of online shopping, Congress wants to weigh in before online businesses like Amazon start using drones to deliver orders to your home, because it would lead to other companies and individuals putting large numbers of drones in the air. Capitol Hill's concerns range from air safety to privacy. Some say they want to be sure business drones won't be used for surveillance on ordinary Americans. Congress has already asked the Federal Aviation Administration to come up with drone regulations by 2015. Amazon says it's waiting for those rules before it starts putting them to use. An Oregon girl has been banned from selling mistletoe in a city park. The 11-year-old is raising money to help pay for braces. However, a security guard told her even though she cannot sell mistletoe in the park, she is being allowed to beg. Mark Martin has her story.
11-year-old Madison Root wants to improve her smile, so she went to her uncle's farm to cut and chop 100 bags of mistletoe this Christmas season, hoping to sell them to help her dad pay for her braces. Her target consumers, shoppers at an outdoor market in Portland, Oregon.
I wouldn't think that I have any problems because people are asking for money, people are selling stuff. This is a public place.
A security guard told Madison she can beg for donations, but she cannot sell anything without a license because of Portland City Code.
There are people just next to me that have big signs that say "Got Pot." They're raising money for pot. I don't want to beg. It's just, I would rather work for something than beg.
Portland Parks Bureau spokesman Mark Ross says begging is a form of free speech protected under the First Amendment. Fortunately, the story has a happy ending. Television viewers are stepping up to the plate, ordering hundreds of bags of mistletoe. Also, the owner of a huge Christmas tree farm, Mackenzie Cook, gave Madison $1,000 in seed money.
I saw in Madison what I saw in myself at a very early age.
And so Madison Root finds herself in the orthodontist chair, and the braces are going on.
There's always exceptions being made in our Portland laws. So why can't there be an exception made with a little girl selling mistletoe for her braces?
Mark Martin, CBN News.
Coming up, battle for the Temple Mount, how Muslim leaders have been spreading lies throughout history to keep Jews from praying on the Jewish holy site.
Hi, my name is Breda. I'm just your typical 9-year-old. I love singing, dancing, reading, discovering the simple truth. My grandpa says you're never too young or old to learn the value of a doll. He taught me the true value of this paper doll. You see this little gold coin? It says $1 on it. But guess what? That was a long time ago. Today, this gold dollar is worth over 100 paper dollars. This paper dollar is now only worth 1 penny compared to America's former money, the gold dollar. My grandpa says the only money worth saving today is real money, gold or silver coins. He's pretty smart. How our paper dollars lost their value, he says. It's all explained in a new book, The Great Debasement. It's easy and fun to read. If you call the number on the screen, I will send you a copy totally free. Next time, I will explain the simple truth about money.
Millions of Americans with an ostomy live their lives to the fullest every day. And over the last 10 years, thousands have chosen Liberator Medical as their caring and reliable resource for ostomy supplies. Liberator Medical is a nationally accredited Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance provider, so we can handle all your Medicare, Medicaid, and insurance paperwork and billing. And Liberator Medical has been chosen as a preferred supplier by all the leading ostomy manufacturers, including Coloplast, Hollister, Convatec, and Generics. We supply all these leading ostomy brands, so you can always get the ostomy supplies and accessories you want and trust. And all of our ostomy care specialists are product certified by the manufacturers. Shipping is free and discreetly delivered right to your door. Unhappy with your present ostomy supplier? Call Liberator Medical and ask about our free ostomy sampling program. We also offer catheters and urological supplies.
Call 1-800-513-3076. That's 1-800-513-3076.
A U.S. congressman from California is urging the international community to intensify efforts to end the civil war in Syria and to protect Syria's Christians as Islamic radicalism keeps growing in the region. This week, rebels have abducted 12 nuns from a Christian village. Syria's Greek Orthodox Patriarch is appealing for their quick release. The convent's Mother Superior says the nuns and 3 other women were taken from their village, while 2 bishops and a priest have been captured in Syria's 3-year-old civil war. This is the first time nuns have been reported taken hostage. In the wake of U.S.-Israeli tensions over Iran, nearly half of Israeli Jews want their country to look for new allies. That's according to a new peace poll by the Israel Democracy Institute. 49% say Israel should reduce its dependence on the U.S. and look for friends elsewhere. But 70% believe Israel won't find new allies, and 71% still believe the U.S. is a loyal and important ally. Meanwhile, nearly 8 in 10 of those polled believe the deal made with Iran by the world's great powers will fail. A small but growing number of Jews are demanding the right to pray at the Temple Mount, according to the Washington Post. The Temple Mount is also the home of one of the most famous mosques in the world. Muslims go ballistic whenever rumors spread about Jews threatening that mosque, even if those reports aren't true. Chris Mitchell brings us the story from Jerusalem.
It's one of the most holy and contested pieces of real estate on earth, the Temple Mount. For decades, Islamic leaders have incited Muslims to violence by telling them that the Al-Aqsa Mosque is in danger. First, they claim that the Israelis were undermining its foundations to make it collapse. Now they also say it's a threat even for Jews to pray on the sacred plateau.
Extreme movements believe that Israel is planning to build the third temple and to destroy their holy shrine.
Known in Arabic as the Haram al-Sharif, or Noble Sanctuary, it's the place where two consecutive Jewish temples once stood. The second was destroyed in 70 AD by the Romans. Now, Muslim mosques occupy the site. The Golden Dome of the Rock to my right is the most identifiable Muslim shrine on the Temple Mount. But it's the gray-domed Al-Aqsa Mosque to my left that Muslims consider the third holiest site in Islam. They believe that Muhammad took a famous night ride from Mecca to Al-Aqsa on his winged horse, Al-Barak. Al-Aqsa was first built in 705 AD. In Muslim theology, the site precedes the Jews and goes back to creation.
You know, Adam, when he descended from the heaven, he came here and he was pray here.
No different between Sulaiman and King David and all the prophets is all the same. They're all been in Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Today, the entire plateau is referred to as Al-Aqsa. Nadav Shragai wrote the Al-Aqsa is in danger libel, The History of a Lie. He says when Muslim leaders want to unite the masses, they claim it's in danger.
The match that ignites the people and brings them to the streets and causes violence is this libel. Al-Aqsa is in danger and this is baseless.
Archaeologist Dr. Gabriel Barkai says there have been excavations near the Temple Mount, but never under it.
One of the cornerstones of Western civilization was never touched by the spade of the archaeologist.
Barkai says it was Muslims, not Jews, who began digging in an attempt to rewrite history.
Since the 90s, there were many destructive diggings going on in the Temple Mount, which were not for archaeological purposes, but the contrary, for destroying archaeological data.
Around 2000, the Islamic religious authorities dug up thousands of years of history with bulldozers from under the Temple Mount to make room for a giant mosque. Barkai headed an operation to save artifacts from the discarded material. Years later, archaeologists and volunteers still sift through the debris. According to Shragai, then Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, Hajj Amin al-Husseini started the libel against Israel in the 1930s. He accused the Jews of wanting to collapse the mosques on the Temple Mount. That led to Muslim rioting and murder of the Jews, just the first of many incidents. Islamic expert Dr. Yitzhak Reiter says the tactic hasn't lost its potency.
They really believe in what they think. The Al-Aqsa is in danger as long as Israel is controlling the eastern part of East Jerusalem.
In 1969, the Muslim world blamed Israel for the arson attack on the Al-Aqsa Mosque by a visiting Australian Christian. That lie continues today. More trouble in 1996. The worst Israeli-Palestinian violence in 30 years broke out when Israel opened an exit for visitors to the Western Wall tunnels half a mile from Al-Aqsa. And in 2004, rain, snow, and a minor earthquake toppled the entrance ramp to the Temple Mount. That provoked an international Islamic uproar when Israel tried to rebuild it. We asked Muslims in Jerusalem what they think.
It's in danger. To destroy him, to took the place, it's in danger.
They are digging underneath it and digging and digging, and they don't find anything.
God will save it.
Recently, Israel arrested a key Islamic figure for incitement. He told his followers Israel planned to break into the Temple Mount, and they should use their bodies to prevent Jews from going up there. Experts say it's important the West takes notice now, because millions of Muslims believe the lie is true. They say if it brought violence in the past, it will do so in the future. Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem's Old City.
Up next, a tragic loss leads to new life. How a children's program gave this man strength and faith after the death of his son.
Attention sleep apnea patients. Are you tired of the expense and hassle of getting your CPAP and BiPAP supplies? Are you fed up with dealing with ill-fitting, leaking, or worn-out masks and straps? Are you worried about the effects that unsanitary tubes, cushions, and filters have on your health? If you said yes to any of these questions, Allied Medical Supply Network has the solution to your problems. You could qualify to have your supplies regularly delivered right to your door at little or no cost to you. That's right, no more inconvenience, no worn-out masks and straps, no more unsanitary equipment, just restful sleep. Call Allied Medical Supply Network today to determine if you may qualify to receive your fresh, brand-name supplies at little or no cost. Don't delay. Call us now to see if you are eligible to save money on regular delivery of your CPAP and BiPAP supplies. Call 1-800-815-9947. That's 1-800-815-9947. Or go to cpapsupplyhelpline.com.
Announcing an important breakthrough in healthcare that can benefit everyone. If you or anyone you love needs affordable health insurance, regardless of a pre-existing medical condition, call Quick Insurance 123 today and get the immediate relief you deserve. Quick Insurance 123 was created to provide affordable health insurance to all uninsured Americans, with or without pre-existing conditions. This is not a discount card. This is a real insurance program that lets you choose from many affordable health plans, with access to doctors, hospitals, emergency services, and more. So call the number on your screen now and get the health coverage you need just for calling. As a special bonus, we'll send you a free prescription savings card that could save you up to 85% on your prescriptions. That's right, you could save up to 85% on your prescriptions just for calling. Call Quick Insurance 123 to find out how you can get affordable health insurance and receive your free prescription savings card just for calling. Don't wait. Getting a free quote is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Call today.
In the aftermath of the devastating typhoon that smashed the Philippines, many people have forgotten about that massive earthquake that struck just weeks before. The people of Bohol province are still struggling to recover from that quake. You're about to meet a man who lost his son in that tragedy. But as Lucille Talusan shows, a happy memory caught on camera has given him hope and new life.
When the 7.2 magnitude earthquake struck, JR, his parents and sister ran towards his 6-year-old nephew, Giles, who was then playing outside their house. He said they huddled together when suddenly the earth beneath them opened up, trapping them 26 feet below. JR was the only survivor, but he was buried up to his chest and could not escape.
All I saw was the foot of my father sticking out of the rubble. After being stuck for 6 hours, I lost hope. I wanted to kill myself by burying my face in the soil, until I heard my younger brother's voice calling us and I was rescued.
Rodel, JR's older brother, was away from home on business. He regrets not being there to rescue his son, Giles.
I should have been there beside my son to help him, but I was not able to do anything.
The horrific scenes from that day when JR and Rodel's loved ones were buried alive in this sinkhole are still haunting their minds. But believe it or not, a simple video of the animated series Superbook has now become their source of healing and hope.
Rodel surprised us when he showed a cell phone video of his son Giles and daughter Krisha singing the Superbook Salvation song. The animated Bible series reached even this remote part of the Philippines and has become the favorite of a boy swallowed in the earthquake.
They asked me to record the salvation song from the television because they want to memorize the song. I like the show because it has made my children more respectful. They showed more affection, and they prayed for all the members of our family every night.
I love Superbook because it's about the Lord. My brother was always excited to watch it with me.
A CBN counselor explained the meaning of the Superbook song to JR and Rodel and invited them to accept Jesus as their Savior.
Now that I have accepted Christ, I feel strong and whole, and I'm ready to face life again.
The CBN team gave Krisha DVD copies of Superbook.
I will miss my brother, but every time I watch Superbook, I will be happy because I know Giles is in heaven because Jesus saved him.
CBN brought Rodel, JR, and their family more than just temporary disaster assistance. The spiritual guidance they provided will endure forever.
Change my life and make it new.
And these Filipinos now know that God's word and promises cannot be destroyed or shaken by even the strongest earthquake. Lucille Talusan, CBN News, Bohol, Philippines.
Do you have an idea for an invention or a new product? Brian and Alice Jagosh, the inventors of the halftime drill driver, did. They invented a power drill attachment that lets you drill, flip, and drive in seconds. Brian and Alice licensed their invention to the company that brought you the Snuggie, and it's now selling in major retailers nationwide. Look for the Invent Help caveman on the package. If you have an invention that you would like to try to patent and submit to companies for possible review and want free information on how Invent Help may be able to assist you, call now. Invent Help is America's largest inventor service company with sales offices in more than 60 cities nationwide. Call Invent Help today for free information. Our clients made a financial gain with their invention, but this is just their individual result. Brian and Alice's experience is not typical, as only a very small number of inventions are licensed or sold in stores.
For your free inventors information, call 1-800-559-8567. That's 1-800-559-8567.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
Hello? Is this thing on? Hey, kids, do you love games? And do you love discovering things? Yeah! Well, do ya?
Then you're gonna love this. It's the new free Superbook Kids Bible app. You can play games, watch videos, find answers to your questions, and a whole lot more. The new Superbook Kids Bible app. Free downloads available on iTunes and Google Play now.
Finally today, it is the world's largest gingerbread house, and it's edible in parts. The Traditions Club, known as the home of Texas A&M University golf teams, worked with St. Joseph's Health System to build the record-breaking house. It contains a whopping 35,823,000 calories. Organizers say it was all to fundraise for St. Joseph's Trauma Center.
Community around this organization have really donated everything from sand to roofing tiles to icing mechanics.
And making the challenge even more challenging, it is also the first outside gingerbread house. And that's a sweet house indeed. Well, that's going to do it for now on CBN News Today. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about at cbnnews.com. And tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that on Facebook or at CBN News on Twitter. Hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day. God bless.
If you had a choice between going bald and a full head of hair, which would you choose? Advances in medical science have resulted in the world's first and only permanent solution to hair loss.
Yes!
You wash it, you cut it. It's your own real, naturally growing hair. When it comes to hair restoration, no one in the world has more experience than Bosley. The results look completely natural and are affordable on nearly any budget. But the entire process can't be explained in 60 brief seconds. So to find out more about this clinically proven and permanent solution to hair loss, call now to receive your free no-obligation information kit. It'll answer all of your questions about hair loss and hair restoration. Plus, we'll also send you this $250 gift certificate just for calling. Every day you wait, you're losing more hair. So don't put it off any longer. You owe it to yourself to find out the facts. Choose hair. Choose Bosley.
Call 800-868-9957. That's 800-868-9957.
Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.